family that poured into you, and now you're in the Chamber of Commerce, and now you understand.
Yes,
it's not mandatory that I'm at this meeting, but it's super important that I'm there.
Yeah, and language, what you said earlier. I'll get off the football thing. I'm just thinking about Coach Ward.
It's okay. It's a sports station.
You're I know. I'm right at home here.
And you're our guest, so really,
so we can say whatever I want.
That's right.
Okay.
Just don't say those 2 words.
After this, we're gonna talk theoretical physics, and I'm joking.
Right.
No, but Coach Wardman, to your point about language and the training you're doing with your staff, he never screamed, and he never swore, and he was just steady, and he communicated clearly, and you understood what the expectations were without unnecessary frill, and how he conducted himself. And that was a great lesson. I mean, I think in my day job, I work in politics, and there's a lot of bombast, and I don't know if that's always very helpful. I think that being direct and being straightforward and trying to be honest with your intentions and what you'd like to see happen, and then communicate on the merits, why your idea is better, wins out over like subterfuge and twisting the knife. But I went to Elkhorn. I came down to the University of Nebraska, studied politics, went to law school thereafter, practiced law here in town for a couple of years at a law firm called Rembolt Lutke. Great attorneys there. In my judgment, some of the best attorneys in the state of Nebraska.
Mark, like I said, Mark Folson's mom was my bus driver from kindergarten all the way up until I started driving to school at 14.
Yeah, Mark Folson was a wonderful mentor to me and still a good friend. Him and his wife are wonderful people. Good people, and he's a fantastic lawyer.
Yes,
fantastic lawyer. So I worked there for a couple of years, and had another good friend and mentor of mine named Brian Sloan, who's the former president of the state chamber here in Nebraska. And he ultimately hired me to come work on their legislative portfolio. And so I'm down at the Capitol most days during the legislative session, working with state senators and other businesses and associations that represent various industries. And our goal is pretty straightforward, I think. We're trying to grow the state of Nebraska.
Right. And small business is a big part of that. Big business too, but small business is a big part of it.
Absolutely. And there's different strategies to support businesses and industries of different sizes and of different forms. I joke with people, though, like, I'm 29 and it feels like half my friends have moved to Chicago or New York City or Dallas or wherever. And they're paying $20 for cocktails and in the rat race.
Right.
But we got a brain drain problem in Nebraska. I read some numbers this morning that indicates that problem is improving a little bit. But brain drain is the concept of young, educated professionals leaving the state of Nebraska to go to other metropolitan markets. And
so this is a real deal. This is a real thing. Brain drain.
It's a real deal. Yeah.
And you
never heard of it.
Talked a lot about in Nebraska. This is what, I'm not from here. Hunter knows this. Remind the audience that in addition to the ticket here, which is mine and Derek's, we came to Nebraska 5 years ago. And what, so we chose to come here. And what I would love to be able to influence on behalf of the state is attracting people. And we've talked about this, right? So you have brain drain for the young folks, but then attracting people to come here for the workforce reasons.
Yes.
Because we have the lowest unemployment rate in the country, or second lowest. What's the current? Do you know if it's we're one or two?
It's moved a little bit, but traditionally speaking, Nebraska has one of, if not the tightest labor market in the country. And that's a fixture of two statistics. It's both unemployment rate, but also labor participation. Meaning of what number or what percentage of eligible workers are participating in the workforce. I think if you're talking to someone and they are opining about what they see in the economy and they're saying, well, everything would be better if more people in Nebraska would just get a job, they're probably lying to you, or they don't understand what's actually going on. I mean, amongst 16-year-olds and younger, I think top 5 for labor participation. I believe we're ranked first or maybe second of the baby boomer generation in the workforce in Nebraska. We're one of the highest ranked states in the country for people working more than one job. Part of that is a fixture of our agricultural economy. In rural communities, one member of the household may have a job in town for maybe benefits reasons, but they're also employed as a W-2 employee on the farm. But generally, I mean, Nebraskans are working. Which is a good thing. I mean, it's a great place to start a life and have a career. And it's a great place to work with other people, because I think by nature we're very collaborative. We're very diligent. It's a sweet state. I'm not going anywhere.
But it does mean that the tax base is the tax base until you
add people or capital.
Increase jobs, or add people, or both, which is really what we'd like to do.
That's what we'd like to do.
And we have all this land that is available for people to live in and develop on.
That's right. We're not running out of room.
We're not running out of room in this state. So these are my little hobby horses coming into Nebraska, just having chosen Lincoln as, you know, an awesome city.
I love Lincoln.
Yeah, and Omaha, I know people who love Omaha too, but in Nebraska, and then you've got the rural Nebraskans that love rural Nebraska, whatever it is. So
build your own adventure.
Yes. So for me, it's very attractive, and I get frustrated that I don't know. I don't want to say it's not happening, but I would like to contribute to make it happening, to attract people to the state. You know what I mean? So if people want to be involved in the chamber and some of the things it's working on, what's the chamber working on?
Working on a lot of things. You know, we just had our board meeting on Thursday. We've got north of 60 business leaders on our board from across the state. CEOs and executives from companies, from utilities to banking, across the spectrum. A lot
Nick,
of
is our sound working? I've had 3 people tell me that they can't hear us.
It's working.
Okay.
It's working.
Do I need to shout?
No. It's working. Everything looks good on my end.
Yep. Melanie just said, yes, I can hear you now. So we're good.
Everything was all good on my end. So I don't
know. Nick checked it all out. So I'm not sure. Sorry to.
No. I just want to make sure that you're being heard, man. This is good stuff.
We run a tight ship here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we obviously are not afraid of interrupting you. So
No. It's all good.
Well, I didn't want to miss anything. I love this.
Yeah. So my point was that our board met on Thursday and approved positions or engagement on, north of 100 to 150 bills out of about 600 that were introduced this legislative session. So it's a busy time for me and many who work with the Nebraska legislature. But that spans industries. That's everything from labor policy, the relationships between employers and employees, tax, to energy, to more specific issues facing manufacturers, healthcare. We cover a lot of ground. But that's fun. I'm a dog chasing cars. Like, I can't be too insular in my focus. I'll lose. It's the ADHD. I just need to stay on top of different things. So
tell me the hierarchy of this. So the chamber, obviously there's local chambers, right? Waverly has chamber, Lincoln, and then so tell me the hierarchy. You're in the state. Now, is there a federal?
There is a U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we work closely with, at least on federal policy, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, as well as the National Association of Manufacturers.
Then it breaks down to state.
There's generally in most states, there's a state chamber of commerce. There's some broad-based state business association.
And are you funded by taxes, or how do you get your revenue to pay your bills?
We're a membership association.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, so companies join us and pay dues to have a seat at the table in our policymaking process and have engagements in our events and programming that we put on. We'll have events and companies will sponsor those events. And then local chambers of commerce, we have a kind of, let's say, a sub-association within the Nebraska Chamber called the Nebraska Chambers Association.
Okay.
And that is the executive director or CEO or whatever the analogous title is of all of the local chambers of commerce around the state. So there's probably 60 local or regional chambers of commerce. In some communities, they function with a dual role, meaning they are not only a chamber of commerce, but they're also an economic development corporation. Which is helping businesses both expand or doing recruitment of companies, helping them with industrial site development, talent retention, or white glove retraining for employees that are coming back. So it operates a little differently in different parts of the state, but we have an umbrella function to help support other chambers in smaller communities, or even work closely with Omaha and Lincoln. So it is kind of an umbrella function, but that's not formalized, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me.
Might be time for a break.
Okay.
Is it time
are we ready for going to break?
Yeah.
Finish your point here.
Well, when we come back from break, let's talk about how, like not just a big company. You don't want to just take care of a big company and have them be a part of it, but you want the one-man bands also to recognize that the chamber is there for them. So we'll jump into that right when we get back.
Yeah. Distinctions.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back, and this is good stuff. All right.
Awesome.
Woo!
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheartston. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Every winter, I struggle with feeling sluggish and down. I've read about the benefits of red light systems, but trying the Spectrum 7 at MaxTan has become my bright spot. A few sessions of full body red light, and I'm more energized and centered. It's my go-to winter boost, MaxTan.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G13885 and G16518. For $2,500 down with proof credit.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
You're listening to Business Builders on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Matt Warner and Rebecca Pearson.
Am I on? Every once in a while, I like to surprise you. So we just put together that Hunter. We are. Oh my goodness, we are the ticket, baby.
Matt's still in training.
I am still in training.
Still in training.
Okay. I totally am lost. Where are we? We're in Lincoln, Nebraska. It is 9:33 in the morning. This is the Saturday morning Business Builders Show on 93.7. What's our hot line?
402-464-5685. Drop us a chat. Put it in YouTube. We'd love to engage. We got Hunter Trainer in the house. Hunter's like a wealth of information on a bunch of stuff. He's currently at the chamber, but he's been an attorney. He's a football player. He's just
was a football player.
Was a football player. It was a power lifter.
We're gonna go do the Oklahoma drill out in the lobby.
Waverly versus Elkhorn here. It's gonna be on YouTube. Hey, so we just put together that Hunter knows Ron and Jane Green, which my son and my daughter Reagan, and so that's Ned, Polly, and Ned's Jane and Ned are brother and sister.
Okay,
so
which I didn't know. And Ned was on with us a few weeks ago. Awesome. And oh, by the way, Ned, if you're listening, I sent your book to my friend who's at this place that closed. It could not have been more timely on Leadership Starts Here, because she got the book the day they announced they were closing the place.
Yeah,
she is the informal leader there, so it was awesome.
And I just ordered 30 more books, and Ned fixed the D's in the book. The D's were all messed up. He got all the D's fixed.
I know that was driving him crazy, but you can still read it with the D's, guys. It's all good.
And by the way, I had a friend of mine. He's like, I didn't even notice. But our brains just go. We don't notice.
But I was like, it's just poor.
What was the deal with the D's? What do you mean?
I have no idea.
It's
Ned
in italics, but it didn't print right at the publisher. But he had all these books published, and you're not doing it over again, and they're claiming whatever, right?
Right.
So he was just, one of his books. He's a
Ned,
perfectionist type.
He is. Yeah. He was very upset. So, but Ned and I are going to do a mastermind book club, a 5 to 6 week session. This summer on his book. Cool. His book is amazing. It's an easy read. You can read it in 2.5 days. Well, for me, I'm a very, very slow reader. I read it in 2.5 days, but I loved it. But I also, leadership's my jam, right?
I love it.
But with that, let's get back on to this, because I'm super curious.
Sure.
Let's pick up where we left off. Help me out.
We were talking about the chamber.
Small business. Let's say that I'm a lawnmower. I have one truck, one trailer, one helper, lawn mowing. How do I get involved with the chamber? How do I support the chamber, and how does the chamber support me?
I think your first step would be, if you're in Lincoln, reach out to the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce.
Reach out to them, call them up. Yo, hey, this is Matt with Matt's Lawn Care Service. I want to meet somebody.
I'd like to talk with you about how you can support me in growing my business.
Okay.
I'd like to learn more about how I can connect with other business owners and other community leaders here in Lincoln.
And that won't be your area. That'll be the Lincoln.
Yep. Because I think, truthfully and realistically, local chambers do different things for different people.
Okay.
I would say that our membership at the state does skew a little bit larger, a little bit more incumbent. But our mandate and our mission is to work closely with local chambers of commerce, who I think in many instances have a better pulse on.
Well, I would hope so, right? That's the idea of the breakdown.
Businesses and particularly retail operations.
Okay.
But here's a small business issue that we have to be mindful of right now in the state. We care a lot about childcare and the inadequacy and inaffordability of childcare right now. And we have a foundation at the state chamber that we work with member companies of ours to invest in our foundation, with the goal of our foundation conducting public policy research on big trends or big policy items facing the state and our economy. So we worked this past year with an organization called First 5 Nebraska. It's a early childhood public policy sort of think tank or research outfit, let's say.
One of the brands of Nebraska Children Families.
Yep.
Which I just joined. So sorry, I'm going to make that connection.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, say it again, Rebecca.
Well, it's one of the brands of Nebraska Children and Families Foundation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, that was recently announced.
Yep.
So First 5, and then an organization called the Bureau of Business Research, which is housed at the University of Nebraska Lincoln's College of Business, did a report on what is the state of childcare in Nebraska. They had done this research prior to the pandemic. That was called the Bottom Line Study. And I'm going to tick off a couple numbers. The findings of what our current child care environment is doing for the state economy found that the inadequacy or inaccessibility and unaffordability of child care in Nebraska is costing Nebraska businesses $1.74 billion in lost output, $1.61 billion in lost household labor income. That amounts to about $63 million in lost income tax revenue alone for the state of Nebraska. That doesn't even contemplate the spillover.
Holy crap. Those are big numbers, my
very
friend.
large numbers. Those first two were B's.
Why can't we figure this out?
It's tricky. And this is where I was headed on the small business issue. We had a voter approved minimum wage effort a couple of years ago. And this is not to decry the folks that voted for that, but just to explain maybe the spillover effects that causes. Childcare providers have some of the tightest margins of any business operation that you could start up. The running joke is don't start a bar. Well, you're going to have really tough margins as well in the childcare industry. And so those providers are dealing with the same labor market pressures.
And let me add one more thing too about childcare.
Sure.
And this is what scares me. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love business. I studied. Last night we went out for dinner, Melanie and I counted the tables. I counted the people. I took the average. I said, holy cow, they're doing $3,500 an hour.
This is me and Matt. I do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's why we get along so well.
It is.
But think about this. Not only is it a tight margin, but you're taking care of somebody's most precious commodity in the whole freaking world.
Yes. And that's
it's
the balance.
Scary. I don't want that responsibility.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I have to take care of my grandbaby for an hour and a half on Sunday. I'm scared because I asked my daughter, I'm like, am I qualified? Like, she's like, yes. Dad, you raised 3. I'm like, well, actually, no, I didn't. I was kind of working all the time. By the way, can you change the diaper when you get here? Because I want it to last an hour and a half. No, I'm kidding. No, I really did say that. But with that being said,
but this is an issue for your business,
so
right?
So we have been talking about this with HR, with Luke, Melanie, my whole entire team about what do we do about childcare? Because here's the thing: we're a profit center, we're making money, we're doing good. How are we going to help our people with their children? And I challenged my team. I said, think outside the box. Let's get crazy. But maybe this is where I need to be in a room. I talk about rooms. Oh my gosh! All right, squirrel. Everything's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take a deep breath. Reagan always says, smell the soup. maybe I need to be in a room because I have ideas
Yes.
of what we can do as a business.
Yeah.
And especially if I could, this is going to sound horrible, especially if I can get some kind of tax incentive where I can help pay for something, because it's hard to get money out of our companies because the government's like, nope, can't give that away. Can't give that away. You can't just hand somebody a $3,000 check.
Yeah,
you have to turn them in because it's income from them and everybody wants their hand in there. Well, how can we do a tax incentive that says, no, Matt, you can write a check and do that?
We have that. It's capped at the state level. So there's a non-refundable tax credit for companies that invest in there's about 6 different types of investments the company could make.
Make sure you talk close to the mic.
Yep. I got to eat the mic. That program is capped annually at the state level.
Okay.
And it goes like this because there are, particularly in rural communities, great examples. I'll shout out, for example, a company very involved in the chamber, Ranke Manufacturing.
Love them.
Yes.
Love them.
Chris Roth, their CEO.
Great human
guy. Wonderful. They took advantage of this program. And in many communities, the room that you're talking about has business leaders, engaged folks in the philanthropic community, potentially representatives from the school or from a faith organization to identify what is it that is our childcare challenge. Do we lack capacity, meaning we don't have a center-based care model with enough seats for the kids that our community has? In some instances, in-home childcare is struggling to make ends meet. And so maybe there's a way to work with a local community foundation to help offset some of the wage pressure that they may be feeling.
And
it
let's
has
get back
to be locally driven.
So the chamber, this is one of the big topics, right, for the chamber. You're talking 1.47 billion, 1.16 billion, $64 million. Like, these numbers ring true to me because I understand the power of these numbers, right? I mean, you're not talking 1.1 million. You're talking 1.1 billion with a B.
It's a huge number.
It's ginormous.
And place it in context of what I was talking about earlier in regards to our labor market. I mean, we don't have margin, to use a business term, in our labor market to have what's happening, as that report indicated, that the aggregate figure of lost jobs due to this issue is about 7,000 jobs.
We
only have north of about 1 million people in our labor market.
How can that be?
Well, people turn down promotions. It increases absenteeism.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter if you're Republican or a Democrat, left or right. This affects our bottom line as a state.
Yes, it's a workforce issue.
Yes,
and it's an economic.
This should not be partisan. This should definitely be. Let's get our heads together and let's figure this.
No. Everyone's going to have different ideas as to the best strategy to address it.
Right. But I love this.
This is.
But it probably takes all of them, right? This
Absolutely.
is like oil. If you get me on the oil business, it takes all solutions for energy.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So I think
great point. All of the above energy strategy. That's good. We can talk about energy policy. But it's going to take multiple approaches because, in some level, as I just described, the childcare challenge is different in different communities around the state.
Yeah.
The cost structures are different. The wage floor is different. The workforce makeup in that community is quite different. And so I think throughout the next year, we'll continue to work with organizations like First Five and other associations and partners to think about what a scalable strategy looks like for Nebraska that allows communities to take that model and address their needs in a way that makes sense for Gothenburg or Cozad.
Right. And we're not all right. So we got to take a quick break.
Sure.
But to put a little bit of a cap in this, we're not all going to agree on the perfect answer. But what I hear you saying is that we do need to come together.
Yeah.
We need to put it on the table, and we need to try to make the best sandwich that we can so we can all eat it.
There's one thing that a listener could do right now.
Hold that thought. Let's come back to that.
Let's come back to that
because our last break is going to go so fast. It's going to blow your head. You're going to be mind blown on how fast this thing goes. All right, we're going to be right back. Woo!
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hi, this is Doug Keller. When I started my first little body shop in Eustis back in 1979, I never dreamed it would grow to 8 locations and over 100 employees in Nebraska. I knew then, as I know now, that if you treat people right, they will keep coming back and also send their friends, which is why our tagline is, where our customers send their friends. I guess there are many things in life that change, but the golden rule never does.
The most recommended Eustis Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crowes. Blue-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. The Southern Hospitality Tour. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Black Crowes. With South Hall, August 4th. Pinewood Bowl Theater and Lincoln's Pioneers Park. Tickets on sale Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Business Builders on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Matt Warner and Rebecca Pearson.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
so
go.
Nick
We're
is
back.
he's figuring out how to work with Matt. I'm quick to the punch. I always start talking early. So for all those you out there, I apologize. I'm going to take a deep breath, slow down. We are the Ticket.
There we go.
I was getting there.
Okay,
I was getting there. We are the Ticket. When I point to you, you do the phone number. We are the Ticket on 93.7. You can get us on YouTube. You can get us all over the place. My favorite place is YouTube, but we're about everywhere you could possibly be. And if you want to text us in, you can text us at
402-464-5685. Call or text or drop us a chat in the YouTube. We're here with Hunter Trainer.
But they're
from
not
the
on
Chamber.
MySpace.
we're not on MySpace.
I'm impressed that you even know what MySpace
But
is.
we are on the X, used to be formerly known as Twitter. We are on that, and that's also a great place to do it.
And Facebook and stuff. All right, we had a really cool thing going right before the break,
We're doing
so
good.
we're going to get back to that because you were getting ready to tell us how to participate.
Yes.
We were talking about childcare.
Yes.
And I said before we left, there's one thing a listener could do right now. There's a bill in the legislature this year introduced by Senator Wendy DeBoer from up in Omaha.
Yep.
Get close to the mic. This is important stuff.
It's LB 304. And Senator DeBoer has prioritized that legislation. It would keep the eligibility threshold for something called the Child Care Subsidy Program. It's a program that's funded primarily with federal dollars, Child Care Development Block Grant. Senator Fisher in Nebraska has been incredibly active on CCDBG. It would cost the state between $5 and $6 million a year, but that's just the state's commitment. Most of this program is funded through federal dollars. But as I was saying, right now, a family of four at 185% of the federal poverty line, for a family of four, that's about $60,000, is eligible for the Child Care Subsidy Program. And under that program, they pay up to 7% out-of-pocket copay for their child care expenses. At the end of 2026, if LB 304 is not passed by the Nebraska legislature, that threshold for eligibility will fall from 185% down to 130% of the federal poverty line.
Oh, wow.
So that's for a family of four is going from 60,000 to 40,000. At which point, any family in that $20,000 household income band is going to see their costs go from 7% out of pocket copay, as I said, up to full cost of admission. Average cost of childcare in the state of Nebraska, depending, of course, upon which market you're in, is between $9,000 and $15,000. In fact, Kansas City Federal Reserve had a beige book. That's a publication that they do semi-regularly on economic observations for the Kansas City Federal Reserve territory. And in that beige book, I think this would have been 3 or 4 months ago, they pointed out that the average family cost for childcare in Nebraska is now exceeding the rate of in-state tuition at the University of Nebraska.
No way.
Isn't that something?
Wow. Okay.
So anyway,
so
LB 304,
for us, Nick.
LB 304 is up this session. Senator DeBoer has prioritized it. So if you're a listener, you understand through talking with us today what this means for the state economy and the level of disruption that would have.
And your employees,
it's about 4,000 families from around Nebraska that would lose eligibility. Go to the legislature's website, find your senator, send them a note.
And here's the other thing too, folks. You've got to hold your senators accountable. And this is, I see this happen all the time. We call our senators, we call our county commissioners, we voice our opinions, and they don't follow us. They'll go follow party line. And I'm telling you what, you need to hold them accountable.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, left or right. Hold them accountable. And call
pay
them.
attention.
Yes.
And pay attention. I think
LB 304.
Yeah. And this is a broader observation about politics. And I'm not saying anything new here. I sound a little trite saying this, but folks, want to watch what's going on in Washington. They're on their phone. They're getting their news likely from sources that primarily want to make them angry rather than make them educated. So if you're watching the news and it's trying to piss you off, realize that you're probably reading the wrong source.
Yep.
But anyway, they're not as engaged with local and state politics as they should be. And that's a broader concern about how most of our decisions have flowed up the chain of politics rather than down the chain of politics. But there's a lot of things that are happening at the state legislature or at your local city council or at your local school board meeting that have a tremendous impact on your life, the services that your local government provides to you, the cost for you as a taxpayer and what is provided. And it's easy to follow along because in many instances, you know the people who are engaging, or to reflect back on a prior, you can join an organization like a local chamber of commerce, to have staff who are there to help translate what is happening to you. And that word is how I think sometimes about my role at the chamber is I'm a translator. How do I take a 40-page bill about municipal conduit bonds and communicate it to a business owner to understand what does this mean for me? So I'm in the translation business.
We need to have a friend to call. So we're gonna have to put a button on this show. We're gonna wrap it up. This has been so educational for me. LB 304. I'm gonna do my research on it.
Yes.
That way I can form my opinion on it. And then I'll ask you questions because I want to be engaged locally. Here it is, folks. This is real simple. You need to pay more attention to your local government and stop worrying so much about what the federal government's doing and start worrying about what we're doing right here in Nebraska. There's a lot going on. By the way, it doesn't matter if you're left, right, Republican or Democrat. We all have to figure out a way to be bipartisan. That's why we are the unicameral. We're very unique in how we look at things in Nebraska. So let's keep being unique. All right, we're going to wrap the show on there. Rebecca, any final thoughts from you?
Just make sure you follow your local chambers on social media because they're doing updates all the time. So thank you, Hunter Trainer, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Hunter, you're a rock star. Give me some. Give me some right up here.
Thank
Woo!
you.
Here we go.
See you next week.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings.